afternoon in your time. So today is January 24th here in the Philippines, Sunday. Okay, so uh, before we start, let me fix my chair first. Okay, hold on. Hello, Caleb. Good morning to you also. So, before we start, I would like to inform everyone that you are free to share your opinion about the subject that we're going to discuss later on. And feel free to ask questions related on the subject that we're going to discuss later. All right. So before that, mega love shout out to all my members and to all my new subscribers who subscribe my channel, and to all my pioneer subscribers, viewers, in different countries in the world. Okay, thank you so much for the tusok. So our subject for today is, should a Western man trust local or province women in the Philippines? So that's a very good question. And I'll share also my opinion about that. So feel free. So here, by February 17, it's Chinese New Year. So here in the Philippines, we celebrate two type of New Year. Okay, lunar. That's lunar Chinese New Year. So some uh, Chinese in Korean, they celebrate the same date in the same month. So they call that Lunar New Year. For Filipino, we call that Chinese New Year. So, well, there's a lot of history, and there's a lot of culture that, Filipino in Chinese community. Okay, so it's too complicated when it comes to Chinese. Okay, so I don't want to mention about that, but I know for those Filipinos in other race, they know about what I'm talking about, in West Philippine Sea. So that's so actually, a lot of Filipino really, really follow what Chinese belief when it comes to create fortune, create wealth. Okay, so that's why some Filipino, they have 12 round fruits before the year's end, and there's some kind of food that you cannot cook by end of the year or New Year. Okay, like chicken. So mostly, in Filipino table, you cannot really, but it's just like a rare, okay, to have chicken a menu on their table, because they said that isang kahig, isang tuka. Hi, Kiss. Hello. How is your day? So I like that. You give me a big smile with the emoji. Are you in the States? Oh my God. When it comes to, things, what's going on in the States, I don't really want to hear there's, in different states, there's somebody, killed, um, harass it's I don't want that. I cannot really I won't, I won't say that not to pay attention to what's going on there. But it's just like really give you a bad bad energy for that. So I avoid those kind of things. So I avoid watching CNN or any US channel, because it brings me, oh my god, sometimes, even though here in the Philippines, every time you watch in the news, there's some like murders, there's some inhumane activities. So you don't really, it brings, it brings nervous, it brings trauma for those people or for people. So instead thinking of what's good for our country, what's good for environment, we cannot really think that way and how to solve that problem because of the things that we watch. Sometimes the AI, the artificial intelligence, it brings you to believe. Okay, so if you're not really aware of those kind of system in social media platform, you really believe what's you seen on YouTube. Okay, so beware of the AI. All right. So actually, I just finished go to farmers market, and I will show you guys. I'll turn the see there on the table. I have so many vegetable because I save a little money if I go to farmers market than the public market or in the supermarket. But after my live streaming, so it's scheduled to go to SNR because yeah, I bought a lot of a lot of vegetable, but some of the vegetable I just blanch that and keep it in my freezer. Some, especially the green leafy vegetable, I don't need to blanch that, but the rest I'm gonna blanch that so that I have a stock of vegetable if I need to cook vegetable. So in SNR, I just bought like milk and things that I can't find in the local supermarket. But most of I don't go just one supermarket, so I go three. Okay, which one is less the price? Okay, so I'm not the type of person that stick into the one store. So here's the thing. Okay, let's discuss. So I don't want to talk a lot of this. Okay, so here's my because I do a research that who is this? Hold on, my God, hold on, guys. So two guns, two yeah. Hello. So feel free, guys. To give your opinion for that. So I'm still go in different mall to get my gadget and things that I need for blogging because it's so I'm not the type of person and go there and buy something, so I have to inquire which one I can get less. What did you say? Okay, let me trust is a belt. If you're not friend, then you're the enemy. Okay, if you're playing both sides, you are a mole or spy. When speaking of friends, it's really hard. The literal word friends, it's hard, guys. It's hard to find. But because, here's the thing that when it comes to friend, okay, once a person give you something, he expect that or she expect that in return or as favor from you. Maayong buntag kanimo diha. Hi. So it's just like it's so hard to find a friend that when they help or when they give something they don't expect in return. That's I totally admire those people. Okay, so that's the thing that sometimes I start to become cold for those people try to befriend on me because you can really tell that they use you to get something that they want, and then once they get something from you, you're just a piece of s. So I try to list those kind of people because me, if you're my friend, I really truly value you as my friend. And in fact, friends, the literal friends, I treated like a family. But sometimes it's so hard to trust, especially for female, even a male friend. Okay, so here's the question. Those are friends with benefits. Yes, I know. Okay, a Filipino truly loves you to show through actions like making your priority and integrating you with her family, showing genuine care by asking about your well being, like if you're eaten, being loyal and supportive and expressing affection through both words and acts of service, such as cooking for you or helping you. Case signs include consistent communication, introducing you to loved ones, remembering small details about you, and wanting you to serve and care for you and deeply as a partner. But here's the thing, guys, that I don't really agree what they said. Some, yes, they do. Okay, because here's the thing that, okay, first, if, the question is, can you trust a province girls? It depends. It depends how. Wait, hold on, guys. I heard somebody's knocking the door. Okay. So for me, it depends. The start of friendship, the start of relationship with that uh woman. Okay. So we cannot really tell us that when I read this that uh, some Proven girls, sometimes they are not what you expect about their personality, especially once they start to go to different country, even though they're living in the province. So that's another thing. But if you really, a province girls that not really engage, those like using this smartphone, oh yeah, you can really trust that girl 100%. And especially that girl is not engaging with women that has so many experience when it comes to city or when it comes dealing with this kind of social media or experience that talking with the westerners, particularly men. So you can really value that kind of trust towards that woman, because especially if you're nice to her, okay, what you said to her she believe. Okay, if she don't influence with another, another person who experience such a thing, dealing with the westerners or dealing with the western men. But if that province girls dealing different kinds of, different kinds of relationship with the westerners, oh, it depends how you deal with her, or depends how the, friendship or the relationship really work. But if it's not just like, you like example for the man that, always give her something, try to buy her. But, I know a lot of men, a lot of Western men just to tell, people that, oh, I don't try to buy her by giving this. Yes, you do. Because as a man, if you really have confidence in yourself, you don't have to give something, send money. All you have to do is just talk to the woman, shown to her that your sincerity and your, you're serious about things that you want to build with her. Yeah, the province girls, yes, even, like I cannot say that in a city girl like can do things like how are you, or yeah, it's very common for Filipina, but it depends, their personality, because sometimes a lot of Filipina, it's more into the, tampo thing. Okay, if you cannot really appreciate it, then they make tampo. Okay, you have to patient for those kind of behavior or personality towards some Filipina. But some Filipina are really open-minded. What kind of relationship that they build to a Western man, then that's okay. But sometimes, more Filipina are very, are very, they always make tampo, especially if you're not giving them enough attention. So here's the thing that, the behavioral signs. Okay, prioritizing you. You become her first priority and she's make time for you it despite being busy. Hi Ronald, hello. So yes, for those province girls that don't really engage those, those Filipina that have experience dealing with Westerners, yes, her time is really focused on you. Okay, so that's how they, like I said a while ago, that it depends. Okay, that Filipina is never be engaged with, this social media platform that they can learn, or they can, they can copy what's going on the live on the social media. Oh yes, but it's okay. I feel okay because they do their best. But anyway, no matter what, they still in the history of Super Bowl, that was 1985. No matter what, okay, no matter what, their name it's still there in the history of Super Bowl. So I'm good with that. So they try their best. They do their best, their very best, because in the thing that, of course, do you think so it's just like, me and Frank watched that, and then he said, oh, I feel sorry. And then I told him, Frank, and the other team wants also to win that game. So just, they try their best, but at least the Chicago Bears already had named on the Super Bowl. So that's good. So here's in the second communication. The communication is very, it's very big deal for, for those Filipina. Okay, especially if you pick, This is one thing that, I'm, to be honest with you guys, majority of Filipino are very jealous. Okay. So, like 10%, it's 80% very jealous and 20% not. So, the 20%, I'm one of those. Okay. The 80%, I'm not one of those. Okay. Because, yeah, no, sometimes, Filipino are very jealous towards another Filipina, especially for those, Western men have Filipino girlfriend and try to talk another Filipina. Oh, they get so upset on that and they're so jealous about that. Because you know what? Why should you get jealous towards another, another person, another female? Because it's just like, for me, you don't have to, especially that your boyfriend and girlfriend, because that man picked you instead of her. So you don't have to get jealous for that, especially if you're married. So it's just like, for me, for those, for Filipina, especially for those married, why you have to get jealous towards that, towards that woman talking with you, unless if if there's another, hiding affair, so it's another story. Of course, me, I will not, I will not ignore that, or tolerate it. That, okay, I will do my best, to do, because I'm in the legal position. But it's just like, talking or friends, no. But all you have to do, don't trust to them, okay? Because some women, why they so jealous? Because they have no confidence on themselves, okay? Insecurities. That's one thing for Filipina that they don't need. So all the things that they do in life, they wonder why that Western men love her. She's not pretty or what? It's not the look, okay? It's the personality. If I prioritize my female friend, I take her to a new level of life, take away her problems so she can prioritize the time with you because she is busy. What? You confuse me. No, I don't really believe those people that they said, in, especially you build a relationship towards, towards opposite sex. Okay. I don't really believe that they're busy. You know, to communicate with your partner 1 minute, it's counted. It's just like to, to shown to her, to shown to him, to feel her and to feel him that you're in there with her or you were there with him. Okay, it's not the duration of time you're talking, is, the effort. Because everybody, especially for, you're not really serious, if you're not really serious towards that person you're dealing with, oh, there's a lot of alibis that you're gonna heard from that person. If that person value you 1 minute or two, and then you have a good relationship or you have a good build of friendship, oh, each of you, they really appreciate the 30 seconds 1 minute. That's good because they know with each other that your time, her time, his time is very important. So sometimes it will not, yes, prioritize is the key. But sometimes if you're not, here's the thing that, the word priority or prioritize, it won't really work if that person is not really serious on you. If there's so many, if like for the men, there's so many women that fall in line by the time that, after she's talking the female one, and then he's not really, he will talk, but he's not really prioritize how important that person, because, select among the best. So it's just like one thing, those Filipina, okay, those Filipina coming here in the Philippines to meet the man, okay, don't really believe that's only you. Unless, here's the thing, that unless that I will tell you guys, if that man really often, to show his plane ticket, how long he gonna stay here, the round trip ticket. Okay, after this time, how many days is stay here or in other countries, you will know that that person is really prioritized, or he's in priority in that person. But if that man telling that, oh, I'll go this and then, don't, for those Filipino, don't believe that right away. Don't. Especially if there's no receipt that that person shown to you. Don't. Sometimes, the eyes of the Filipino is just like, having a foreigner boyfriend is a big deal. Okay. But they are not smart enough to understand what this man doing in his life, or what this man intention towards to meet her. It's all about action, Liliveth. Yes. Oh yeah. You know what? No matter what words, I agree with that. It's all about action, Kiss. I agree what you said. Because no matter how these people selling you, oh, that's just nice words, but there's no action. You're like that to me. You're like, boo. Okay, so communication is very important. Okay, so for the men, okay, it's just like, you be honest. Okay, shown to them. This is like for Western men try to meet a Filipina. Okay, shown to the Filipina, this is your plane ticket, how long you gonna stay here, and then don't make any excuse that you are busy. No, because once you decided to get that plane ticket coming here in the Philippines, you already knows what you're doing. So don't make the word busy, don't make that as an excuse. Okay, but foreigner has to protect himself first time, should have backup plans in case things don't work or in what you expected with the lady you are meeting. Oh yeah, because here's the thing, guys, that I don't really understand why those Western men, you have take your time, to, because you're talking online is not LDR, is that creating your friendship. Take your time, 1 week is not enough to know the person. Of course, going to other country, of course you must be aware of your safety. No, even though you're talking with female person. Okay, so you have to, you have also to think for yourself, and then like this man said that your safety. So if someone, okay, from the road, if someone flies 8,000 miles for a person, they are prioritizing them. It depends, because I do believe, Western men, okay, some, they are not doing this, but majority of Western men, they are not talking just one Filipina. Because if they are not comfortable, if that Filipina, especially if they're on more onto the physical attraction, if that is not good enough for his eyes, of course he has option. So I don't really believe that they coming here just one, unless they're talking so many years online that they're very at home with each other. But it's just like, a month, 2 months. I don't think that just one. Okay, especially for those Western men that already experienced, visited Philippines. But for the first timer, yes, I can say that in there's a little, a little gratitude that towards, towards the Filipina, but the Westerners that has already experience with Filipina before, they know how to deal with this Filipina. Try to meet there in person. I number one meeting not. Wait, hold on. I got, my, I need a new eyeglass. I can't really see. Hold on, guys. Let me. Oh my God, when I cannot see, I feel that I'm getting old. Feel I'm getting old. Okay. What did you say? Okay, hold on, guys. Okay, hi, two guns, two. Okay. One meeting is not enough to know a person. Either I've seen people get married first time they met. Oh, well, it's their decision, but for me, that's ridiculous. Okay, because the word marriage, but for me, for me, I really value the word married. I don't want to go to that decision that at the end of my marriage life, I'm gonna regret. Yes. Well, it depends. It depends how they deal, when it comes to the relationship. But for me, it's not really good. It's not really good, because especially now that there's a lot of people engaged, especially dealing with this Western man and then Filipina dealing with the Western man, they have so many, many style. Just to catch the attention of that person. And especially, guys, I'm not saying all, some Western men that really want to that, you know it's not, they really admire, they really attractive physically, but to build a strong relation, they're not really into that. They just want to try, the p, okay, the p. Okay, from Ronald, there's a lot of wonderful women in the Southeast Asia, and a lot of them want to date foreigners. And yes, we have plenty of option to choose from. Yeah, I agree with that. Yes, there's still a lot, but what I mean is for those Western people, take your time, take your time, to know the person. There's nothing wrong, especially if you're not husband and wife, okay? And then, yes, to get to know with each other, take your time to know another person, because what if that person that you talk is not really work, you're not really compatible, so you just waste of time to wait for that person, and then at the end you just alone. Okay, but once you're committed and once you're married, that's the end. That's the end of your life, not to dealing or flirting. There's nothing wrong to talk with a woman, but it's just like, as a person, as a human. But if you're gonna build, or you start to flirting, I think my advice is you don't have to get married if you act like that. Okay. Stay single, because once you're single, nothing to worry about it. But if you're married, yes, there's a big problem for that. And for, okay, I'm gonna show, okay, so that you can, okay, let me read this. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I agree with that. I agree with that, Kiss, because that's it's all about sometimes some Filipina or some women, not I'm not really pointing out to Filipina. Okay, let's say some women, they just really want just to get a box for for that, but they don't really want to build a relationship, to build a family, to build their own family. It's just like because especially for those that materialistic women, they are not. So if you know the woman is materialistic, is not a wifey material, then if you're the type of person that you just want to bang bang, so then roll the dice. And if you want to lose your money, then go ahead. But if you don't want, then find the person that really has the potential to become a wifey material. But nowadays, men and women that are the same category, okay? They just use your, this, is this the right term? They use your body, same, the same thing, okay? Once they get tired, then okay, find another one. There's nothing wrong with that, because me, I also respect that, because that's how they look. But I don't really like a person try to be build a family, try to build a home, but their action is like dealing with different women. It's no good. But for those men that they don't want to have they don't want to settle, and that's their prerogative, okay? But if you're married and do things you do things like a single person, oh, you better wake up, or else you might get in trouble for the rest of your life. Seriously. Especially if you're dealing with a Filipina. Oh, some Filipina, do you think that some Filipina, especially in those involved of social media, do you think that they are still sweet online? No. Especially if that Filipina knows something, hmm, they are a dragon of Asia. Dragon. I'm just be honest. This is facts, okay? So use your body. That's the truth. Oh yeah, I okay. So for those don't agree with that, okay. I have no words to say that to you, but this is my opinion. Yes. Do you think? Okay, here's the thing. Do you think Western men, for the first time they coming here in the Philippines, do you think once the Western man, okay, is in the hotel and wants to meet the Filipina or women, do you think they just staring with each other? Hmm? Do you think they staring at each other? Of course not. So, and of course, do you think that that Western man travel 8,000 miles away and just to meet that the I'm gonna specific this, to meet that Filipina? Do you think he has no interest to bang bang that Filipina? Mm-mm. You're telling a lie. You're telling a lie, man, if you're not. Because here's it's given, especially for those Filipina that very liberated mind. Yeah, that's given. When you come here, we stay in the hotel. Bang. That's given, the bang bang. There's nothing wrong with that. We're just human. But try, sometimes, try some people, they think that, oh, I just want to meet her, just to know. No, and some Filipina, they are in denial. They are not. No, come on. Come on. Okay, let me read some of your comment. Okay, to Ronald, simple survival users use the one that allow themselves to be used. Houses are scattered all over the Southeast Asia from foreigners than any other part of the world. Red flag are young women with cell phones. Okay, speaking of young women here in the Philippines with a smartphone, out of 10, you get 1% that are loyal to you. The 9% of those, oh yeah, they just, you give their money, okay, they can give their service. Okay, it depends, but now that especially now, I don't really trust to them. Okay, if you really want just to just make fun, play games, then they are the type of person that you're dealing with. But for those Western men try to settle down, oh, you cannot deal with them. But I'm not saying all, but you have to give them, also consideration. But just a few Filipino are really serious towards, especially for those older men. Oh yeah, older men really proud of themselves to pick a young Filipina. But the question is, how long she gonna stay in your side? That's a good question. Okay, two guns, two, yeah. You have a look, her eyes. Oh, the eyes don't really show what she's thinking of. The action. Oh yeah, come on, two guns, two, yeah. 8,000 miles. Someone's doing something. Oh come on, be real. They're talking online, of course, the men. Especially if the Filipina is look, attractive. Of course, do you think it's just like, oh, I want to meet this Filipina and then yeah, I just gonna talk to her? No, no, no. X. I'm just be honest with you guys. Come on, man. Don't be innocent about that. I know what men's thinking. Come on, be real. Filipinos are only shy about no, no. They show that they're shy, but if you're too in this cold and nice room, I don't think so. Ronald, I don't think so. Yeah, that's a good, that's the nice age, to really, especially for those, wants to, because 35, 35, 40. I rather have someone close in age. I see the age gap, relationship all time. To each his own. I just think those have higher chance of falling apart. Yeah, because here's the thing, guys. That like example for those Western men that like if their age like 25, get a Filipina a little older, then that's fine. Okay, and then if the Wisterman like 28 and then peak like 23, oh my god, there's a lot of fights. Okay, there's a lot of fights, and then a lot of jealous. But if for those Western men that 40 up, it's better to pick the same your age or a little older than you. Okay, like if you're 40, you can pick like 41, 42. Because some Filipina at their age, like 45, they are not really look old. Okay, it depends how they take care of themselves. Because especially if you pick the woman that has a she's a keeper, she has wifey material personality, the relationship, it really work. But if you find that kind of woman, take care of that, because it's hard to find that. What, Ronald? What did you say? Okay, to survival, to simple survival. I rather pay to play, no string attached. Wow, really? But anyway, okay. For me, is here's the thing that for those, you know, for those, like, if to have a intimacy when you met, when you met the woman, it's your choice. It's both you choice, guys. Okay, you have to talk, because of course, before some, some Filipina that they are, they are conservative. Okay, just I don't know, it's kind of, we're not really on the stage of like during my parents time. Okay. Hi, Cher. Good morning. How are you today? So during my family time, in my mother's time, you cannot do really do that. But now the modern Filipina, yes, it's up to you. Especially if the Filipina, it's the right age. Okay, as long as it depends. They can do anything they want. For me, I have nothing against with that. Okay? Because we're just human. But be careful, for the first meeting. And if you're not really serious about that person, don't, use the protection. As simple as that. That's normal. That's normal. But try to tell the world that, oh, you don't want to do things like, come on, be honest to yourself. We're human. Okay? It's according how you deal with that. How, because before you come here, of course, do you think you never talk about that, the sex? Of course you talk. Oh, that's good to hear that, share. Yes. Okay, that's, if that's your that's one thing, guys, that, if you coming, this is, I cannot really talk well, because my mouth, it's getting, my tongue. So anyway, that's one thing that, seriously, guys, for those Western men wants to meet a Filipina, you have to be honest. What is your intention towards her? Okay. So if your intention do just to play games, be honest. And don't promise to her that you're gonna marry her, but at the end of the day, you're not serious with her. That's a big mistake, guys, because if you're gonna do that, remember this, I'm serious, because there's a law here in the Philippines. If you are the cause of that person, of that Filipina depression, she can file case towards you, not to come here in the Philippines. But that kind of law is not valid in the States. But here, if you're planning to visit Philippines, and they can forward that case to the Bureau of Immigration, you can longer step on the Philippine soil. So like I said, that if your intention this, you have to be honest to her. So it's up to her to take that or not. But you already tell her that, oh, I don't want to marry you. I just want to, I just want to meet you. And then I just want to have intimacy with you. So it's up to her. Sometimes, why some Filipina expected that you are their boyfriend or, future husband, because you don't say nothing to her. So she expect that. So, but me, You don't have to be quiet about that. You have to be honest. Okay? So, here's the thing. So your intention to her is just to know her more, and once you're really at ease and comfortable with her, and then that's the time you plan to tell her that you're going to marry her. But you have, is she is qualified for that things that you really want for her? But if it's not, don't don't give the things that you want to a woman if she don't deserve that, because you know what, if the woman are not really deserve that, if that woman don't really into that thing that you really look forward to build a family, to build a home, it's a miserable life that you're gonna deal with that woman that has no enthusiasm to build home, to build family. And majority of your days is more on stress, is not more onto the happiness, because I do believe in marriage life. Okay, that's common that sometimes there's this disagreement, but it's not the thing that you end every day when you see him, when you saw her. It's just like it's just a little thing, it's easy for you to get upset on her or to him. That is not good. It's not a harmonious relationship. So you have to be specific if you're gonna say to that woman, is that deserve? Because if she deserves, she will take care of that. But if she's not serious to deal with that with you. Yeah, that's for those men, okay, finding a mate. It doesn't really matter where she came from, even in the states or in your country. It's kind of a gamble. Okay, if you want to roll the dice, then gamble it. But if you don't, so you don't have to, you don't have to deal with that. Enjoy yourself as a single. But marriage life is just like a gamble. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. As simple as that. So that's why take your time, because in marriage life, guys, it's better to have compatibility. And then there's I don't think that love, you have to like the person first before you love, so that the relationship it really work. Okay, and now the end is near. So that's the time that, okay, I can stand the way the way she laugh, things that, you can stand the smell of her fart, or same thing by vice versa. And that's the time that you can really tell to yourself, or to tell her, or to tell him that, okay, let's go, let's get married. But if not, don't say something, especially drop a promise to the person that you cannot really able to give that to her or to give that to him. Because, so like, for those western men, if you're not really tell to the woman your intention, and that women it expect that, okay, he's my boyfriend or my future husband, and it's not what you think about that, and that's what she really expect from you. And then the relationship, at first you have a happy life, sweet life every time you talk, but that time that woman gonna starts doubt on you. And that's doubt, it starts to who's you're talking with, uh when you go outside, who you with. There's so many questions that the person will ask you, so you have to be prepared for that. If not, you're gonna really, your days, your life with her, your life with him is a hell. Yes, that's, I agree with that, Ronald, that that's why take your time, especially at the age, like like example, for those 60 years old, and then western men, remember this. For those like at their age 50 up, like 50, 55, 60, 65, 70. And I know, guys, that a lot of you might go to the three marriage, two or four, divorce. Okay, why the marriage thing is not really work? I still believe that still American, they just married for one and then still living together, so you work hard for that kind of marriage. And I really admire those American that just one married and then it's still together. So, and then the bottom line that I really want to share is just like, pick the right age for you, because if you pick younger, okay, when it comes to music, I'm gonna, you like, not like, if you're in your 60s or you in your 70s, you like James Brown, you like Ray Charles, but the girl that you pick, she likes Bruno Mars. Okay, other young singers, and you cannot really relate with each other. So by the time that you play the music, she get irritated for that, and then by the time she play the songs you don't really like, and try to tell her that, can you lower the volume or can you turn off that? So that's the thing, that when it comes to music or when it comes to food, you get irritated. So just like that, okay, it's better not to not to play this music, and then just put their headset and play what. So it's just like you don't really give a s to the person that because they cannot really relate what you want. Okay, if you're gonna pick, of course, for for older men, it's just a big, a big, a poggy points for them, that oh, I pick the young Filipina, I marry a young Filipina. But the question is she's relate what your things doing in life? When it comes to business, they are not really wants to build a business. When it comes to manage the money, they are not, because in their mind they just want to go shopping, blah blah blah. Especially some Filipino, oh, I married a Westerner. Some Filipino, oh, no, not some, majority of Filipinos think that if they have one of their family has a foreign boyfriend, they're rich. Okay, but they don't really understand, oh yeah, they coming here but they work hard for that money that they earn. I'm 58 now. I was married for 20 years before, but now it will take a special woman to get to marry me again. Oh, that's sweet. Oh, what is your qualification? So that's that's a good thing, guys, that when it comes to that, it depends. My conclusion is, my should a Western man trust local or province women in the Philippines? It depends. So for me, what is their family background? How they treated you? So you can give that, a hands for yourself, that okay, I will trust. Not 100%. You have to give trust also for yourself. Don't give the full trust to them. Okay, just maybe 50-50, 50% trust for them and 50% trust for yourself. If something not really happened, you're not totally down. All right. So it depends. I cannot really tell that, for those Western people, when they met a Filipina province girl or province girls, you have to trust it right away. So it depends. You observe, observe. So, I've been married for 7 years. Okay. We don't really have a problem about that. Okay. Because, we grown. Okay. I respect what Frank's wants. Well, sometimes, there's some his opinion that I'm not really pay attention. But, I'm still there to listen to him. Okay, we respect that with each other. That's your opinion. We must respect that. We cannot do things that, okay, this is my opinion. This is what I want. You have to follow me. So we have to balance things, okay, so that we don't really we don't have go to the end that we have a disagreement thing. It's not disagreement or argument. Okay, so it's just like, once you are in, you're really serious, to build that, to protect that marriage, you have also, you have to give a person consideration, you have to give a person respect, and number one is make your patient as much as you can. Okay, patient is very important. But like, I give also consideration to Frank, and also give me a consideration. But it's just like at the end of the day, we don't really end up that, we yelling, we shouting, because I don't really do that. Okay. So it's just like I'm just be quiet if things, but it won't really last days. No. But that's the normal in, in marriage life. But we don't really end up that throwing something. No, I don't want that, because that's, no, no, no for me. Okay, so my goodness, my goodness. Well, yeah. If there's a woman that, available, and the qualification that, why not? Okay, because that's what you want. It's important also to respect the person that telling the truth. Then, just be quiet, but they are not honest. So yeah, why not? Okay, but Ronald, I'm just don't pick, like women at the age of 50, 50, 35, 40, 45, 50. Yeah, not 35 to 50. Okay, they can still able that act like a porn star. All right, but 55, no, because all the arthritis. So it's just like, I have a story about, women at age 25, 30, 35. Okay, in their purse, it's just like makeup, perfume, lipstick, or a foundation on themselves when they go hang out with their friends. But once they reach at the age of 55, 60, you know what in their purse? Liniment. Things that, okay, that's good if they starts to aching when they walk. So that's the reality of life. We all go on that thing that we all getting old. Me also, I feel old. Yeah, like Filipino love efficacent oil, but liniment oil here is no, no, no. It's no, no, no here in my house. Okay. So yeah, that's thing. Oh, any question, guys? About the subject. Oh, for you, any question, Ronald? Do you have question for me? Well, you know what? This is one thing that that's one thing, guys, that I'm so proud. Even though that where I'm not saying that my people, particularly me, are perfectly that they are good, but you compare a Filipina to like and the West, oh yeah, they're better than the Western women. Okay, but all you have to do is just like take your time. Don't go on the relationship just like instant. So within 2 days, your boyfriend and girlfriend online, and then 1 month coming here in the Philippines and visit. Within 2 months, you get married. Don't do that. Okay, take your time to know the person, because I do believe if you're meant for each other, nothing can do about how long. But you don't really let it for 5 years. No, of course not. Don't do that. Okay, so give your time. Like 1 year talking. 1 year is enough to know with each other, especially online. And then once you decided to visit, just give your time. For those wants to meet a Filipina, 1 month is not enough. Okay, 1 month is not enough. You're gonna stay here in the Philippines 3 months, 4 months, okay, to know her. Especially if you're living in the hotel. 1 month is not really, because all the good things she will show, and of course you also all the good things, the sweet, the cute moment with you together. But I think 2 months, 3 months onwards. Yeah, that's a good thing. And then you have the communication is always in the relationship, regular communication. That's very important. So what else? Okay, like just when you're talking online, come on, stop being BS for that. Okay, don't be so like you act like a kid. Okay, don't make any promises to the person, but when you come here, you don't have time for that. Okay, okay, don't do that, because you don't embarrass the person that you met online, but you embarrass yourself, because especially if you're saying that to person and then you don't do nothing. Come on, don't do that. Okay, just be natural. Okay, don't act like, oh, like for women I treated you like a king, or like the man I treated you like a queen, not literal, but the word queen. But it's just like, what? And here's the thing, guys, don't be like that. Okay, be honest. Okay, don't be brag, especially the place that you were stay. You do things that, okay, I gonna do this for for her, I gonna do this for him. Okay, here's one thing that I will give you a tip, guys, for Western. Okay, for those people online that you have friends wants to meet a Filipina. When you come here in the Philippines, guys, just bring your Filipina a little gift. It doesn't matter what is that. A little gift. Don't come here to meet her. You bring nothing. You just bring your balls. Okay? Just my advice. Okay? Just give her a little thing. Okay? Because right there, you just like a con. a con person. But the Filipino will not really think that, they're just waiting for you to give her something. Okay? Don't come here, just bring your balls and meet. No, just give, just to feel the person. Not only for a Filipina, if you go in different countries in Southeast Asia, to feel that person, she's special. Okay, it's not the amount, the gift that you give. It's the thoughts. Okay, so don't visit, don't come with that women's country just to bring your balls. No, it's not really from right there. Remember, for those men, the first impression lasts. Okay, so if your impression is just like that person, that woman, I don't care what she came from. Women in general will really treasure and value that, especially you came from the other side of the world, like 8,000 miles away. Of course, yes, but just to give, especially this is the first time you met the woman. Okay, give her a little thing. It's not, like I said, it's not the price, it's the thoughts. Okay, don't just bring your balls here, your lato lato or your itlog. Okay, so that's, I don't. But you know what? To be honest with you guys, I just really want to share this. Frank treated me like a queen. Okay, she never stay me in a cheap hotel or cheap Airbnb. Never. Okay, he bring me to two hotels that is really good in Ortiga Center. Okay. The other one is 4.5 stars score, but the other one is 5-star hotel. And I feel, and I don't expect that, I don't demand that to him, but he's the one who gave that to me. Okay. I'm so feel good about that. Okay. I feel that I'm the queen. Okay. We never eat in the fast food chain. We don't eat in Jollibee. I eat Jollibee, but that time, no, I don't eat in Jollibee. I don't eat in McDonald's. Okay. And in fact, the hotel that we get in the Ortigas, there's a suite, so I can cook there. And actually, he cooked me a breakfast because he asked me, uh, "Have you tried the French toast?" And then well, my diet before is very light, so I don't. I told him no, I don't. And then he cooked. So that's the first and last. For 7 years we're married. That's because I don't let him cook. So I'm the one who really cook that because I'm the wife. Okay. Yes, you know what, Ronald? Any kind of gift, Filipina or women will appreciate that. Okay, will appreciate that. But don't come here just your balls, my goodness. And then when you're you want the Filipina play your balls? Come on, give me a break. And then I don't know, guys, if there's a Wolfgang Steakhouse in the States. There is Wolfgang, and that's the oh my God, But I told Frank, come on, Frank, this is the first and last that we're gonna go to the Wolfgang Steakhouse because I told him if I gonna buy, a steak in a slice, I can cook this at home. We can save the money, but guys, the bills that oh my eyes suddenly big when I saw the bills in Wolfgang Steak. That's in Fudium in Mandaluyong, so at the back of Mega Mall. So, but I love the steak. Oh my goodness. Oh yeah. Actually, if your boyfriend and girlfriend, that balls is not for her. She can touch, she can play it, but it's not her own balls. Okay? Same thing with the men. She just rented. Like men, you just rented the meow meow. But once you're married, the meow meow it's yours, the balls is mine. Okay? Agree? You just rent that. You just rent that, okay? Is not, you cannot really own that unless you marry that person, all right? So you have no credential to own that. Wolfgang steak price are no big deal to a lot of us. Yeah, but of course, here, the price here of the Wolfgang is kind of a pricey for us. But for me, it's worth it. It's worth it, Ronald. I really enjoy the steak. I really enjoy the steak, and then, of course, the service that they given. So, any question, guys? We gotta pass the balls. Okay, the question: who wants to rent the meow meow? Who wants to own the meow meow? Same thing. No, who wants to rent the balls or wants to own? But I don't need to rent the balls, okay? Because I owned. $40. Oh, really? Because, I remember, we order, I'm going to say this, Ronald, the porterhouse, it was 2000, 2019, about 10,000 pesos. The porterhouse, so how much is that? Two, $200. Pricey, right? Because I understand, because the steak is that from the states, so they have to import it, so the taxes, and of course the service, so it's gonna be, so 10,000 pesos, $200, the porterhouse, but it's worth it. It's good. Who's this? BYRD. Hi, hello, where you from? BYRRD travel. I don't want to rent or own. What do you mean? The balls or the meow meow? Okay, fine. That's your prerogative, man. Wagyu steak are 150. Well, actually, when it comes to our steak here, we don't really have, the local steak is not really good. But most of the pricey steak here, it came from Australia, it came from USA. So that's why the price is kind of ridiculous here. But if you have money, the price don't really, bother you for that. So it's time for me. I'm from America. Okay. Thank you for coming. So welcome to my show, Liliveth Tate Channel. So don't forget to give me a thumbs up, all right? Or subscribe on my channel. Are you married? So it's just like, I'm just talking about that, you cannot own, or you cannot own the person thing, if you're not married. So once you married, okay, you owned, okay? So I have, so look there. So I'm gonna fix that. And you know what? Here's the good personality, the number one personality of a Filipina. Okay, majority of Filipina are We're a very good cook. Okay, as long as there's a food, we never non-stop us, to cook. Okay, we don't really complain cleaning the house. We don't really complain about that. So now, any question, guys? Oh, I'm gonna cook, because I miss, one of Filipino dish that we cook is, adobong pusit. So adobong pusit is baby. So I went to farmers market. I saw, a baby squid. So I'm gonna make adobo for that, and then I like, with the ink, the black, because the squid adobo is gonna be black, so it's gonna be tasty. Philippa, we are from the city, are more of style. I couldn't really relate to the province Filipina. What do you mean style? How they dress? How they act? What do you mean? Well, some, well, it's just like, well, in the city, there's so many, there's so many trending things that, people can always relate or always get that something new. Oh yeah, because um, mm-hmm, yes, correct. So well, it's just like, oh yeah, have you been here in the Philippines? How can I call you? BY na lang? BYR? Yeah, because guys, I'm gonna explain that. I'm gonna explain that to you, BY. The reason why, the reason why they're staring at you, because in the province, we're not really used them to see, especially if you're white or black. They are not really used of that. For them, you're one of a kind. Okay, you're something, something special to the eyes of the people in the province. Okay, but here in Manila, there's so many, so many races here go around, even in my place. Okay, so don't be scared about that. When they staring at you, it's just like they just admire, especially if you're good looking person. They just really admire, and they really stare at you just to be friend to them. Okay, but you have to be careful also in the province. Okay, don't really trust, even that's my people. All you have to do, just don't be so overwhelmed how they how they entertain, or how they treated you in the province. But no mean no harm when once they staring, because I also happened that when I was teenager. Okay, we have a neighbor that she has a black boyfriend, American black, because I know there's some black people, that are mixed. Like the color is same also with Filipino. And that black American, he's really American, because the tone of his voice is really American. He's not Nigerian or Jamaican. And I'm teenager, like 15, and then I'm staring at him because he's really dark. He's literally black. And I am staring at him. But he's wondering why I staring at. But I'm not staring that to scare him. But I'm just wonder, because I saw his palm is the color is it's not, my palm is pink. Okay, not white, but his palm is like yellowish. So I'm just wonder why. And then I do like that. first time I saw black, black American in my province, I just look. There's so many why in my brain, okay? But it's just like I'm not scared him, but I'm just wondering, okay? Because first time I saw him, okay? No, okay, I'm not good looking. No, the look, okay, remember this BY, for me, I don't really look onto the looks, okay? What I'm looking for is just like how you treated me. What's your personality? What's inside of you? That's very important because yeah, sometimes people are really into the looks. No, me, I'm not. Look, it doesn't really it a little, but for me, how the person treated me or what's inside of his heart. Well, I'm guapo as hell, so yeah, they stare. You're really pogi, huh? Pogi. Of course, like men also they want also their if of course like me, because me, I'm not really consider myself as a good looking woman. No, I'm not. I'm not talaga. I'm not pretty. I'm not beautiful. No, I'm not. Okay. So it's just like I understand those people that, tell that, I'm not, like, yeah, last night I talk about Michael Jackson. I just when he was like in his 15 in his 20s. I love Michael Jackson face. But when he growed and he become white and then something happened to his nose, I don't really like his look that time, okay? But I like his music, okay? But I really like when he's his face when he has a wide nose and he has a dark skin. Because you know what, I love Michael Jackson's smile. Okay, when he smiled, I also feel I smiled, so I really admire that smile from him. But when he starts start to change, is no longer that feeling that I when I saw him smile, because he's not that person that I like from the beginning. Yeah, but I love his music. Okay, for those men and women, okay, don't feel that you are not good looking. Okay, if you think that you are not good looking, be who you are. Okay, don't be insecure. Okay, don't be insecure. In the eyes of God, we're all equal. Okay, just like yeah, I agree what you said, BY. I thought that before that Diana Rose and him are boyfriend and girlfriend. As a lover, but they are boyfriend and girlfriend, just friend. Any question, guys? Before I gonna end this show. So anyway, I really appreciate Ronald. So thank you so much. So yes, my last statement for it depends. There's some Filipina that you can really trust. Okay, but pick the right one for you to be trusted. Okay. From BY, all the people in Pasay in Cubao tell me I look like gangster. Oh, I love gangster. Like who? Like who? Tony Soprano? No question, but I've enjoy your info. Okay, I really appreciate it, Ronald. Who's your favorite gangster? For real? Bumpy Johnson? Frank Lucas? Who? Who else? But anyway, guys, I love watching, gangster or organized crime. The Sopranos series. Oh, I've been watching that for many times. Just like 3 days ago, I just finished all the. Ah, you're white. So are you married to a Filipina, BY? The other one is Dillinger, John Dillinger. You know what? You mentioned Pasay and Cubao, okay? In Cubao, that's in Quezon City, there's a lot of. Oh, thank you. There's a lot of, that's a lot of, you know, women there, looking for a happy ending. And also Pasay. Oh, good. Where she is, what city she stay? That's too personal to us. Anyway, so it's okay if you don't to answer for that. So let me get up. So any questions? Okay, no more question. But here's if you find the right Filipina, oh my God, treasure, value that, keep that Filipina, or else somebody will steal that from you. Okay. No, Pasay, it's that near to airport in Cubao, that's in Quezon City. So is this your channel? I'm gonna visit your channel. Tagig, okay. I know that Tagig. Where's is Tagig? Do you know Tagig is? Wait, hold on. Number one, Quezon City is the biggest city here in Philippines. Second is, wait, hold on. So Taguig is the fifth biggest city here in the Philippines. Number one is Quezon City. They have 443 billion 406 billion, not million, billion. And then second is Makati. Makati is the central capital of the Philippines, commercial capital of the Philippines. Anyway, so thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. And I think some of you, if you really look or listen what I'm said, you can learn a lot of the things that I discussed or I said. So, but you know what? If you have Filipino, that Filipino is a wifey material, then take care of that, okay? Don't let anybody will steal that from you because it's gonna hard to find the right Filipina. Okay. Huh? The gig to Quezon City? Seriously? That's a long walk. Well, anyway, this only thing that you can walk because sometimes that's long walk. Where do you start? Anyway, Taguig and Parañaque is closed, okay? And Pasay. So now I'm gonna fix all my vegetable there, and it's time for me to cook adobong pusit. Pusit means squid, guys. That's in Tagalog words, pusit. Okay. So if you're gonna, somebody will, psst, that's they call it, psst, that's baby squid. Yes, Gate 3 to Quezon Avenue. Okay. Gate 3, that's in Fort Bonifacio to Quezon Avenue. Wow, that's a long walk. I know the Gate 3. That's in Fort Bonifacio. Gate 3, and then the other side is, Villamore Air Base. Chino Roses, exit to Lawton. Oh, yeah. But anyway, you can walk, you can walk. Hmm. So I don't want to stay long, guys, because, it's time for me to do groceries in SNR. So SNR is just like, it's just like Costco or Walmart. So we just get milk because American milk I want. Yes, I walk along the EDSA. So you cross the Guadalupe Bridge. If you're gonna go to if you use EDSA. Well, anyway, from here Taguig, Luton, yeah. Okay, you just go around and walk. So you cross the Guadalupe Bridge. Gitchi Lion! Gitchi, how are you? How are you, Gitchi? Why you come so late? You miss, you miss my, discussion. So we're just talking just, after my discussion. But anyway, I almost to fake things. Okay, guys, I will not stay long because, look, my vegetable there waiting for me to fix, to clean, and store in my refrigerator. So thank you so much, guys, and have a good day. So, mega love shout out to BY. Okay, I hope that you can continue. So, I'm gonna check your channel and wait, hold on. Let me check it. So, are you blogger? So, I will subscribe on your channel. Huh? So, I subscribe. Okay, I subscribe on your channel. So I go on your, short. You're the I drop the comment there. I comment, the scary mess. Got up later in July. Saan ka naman ang aswang? Saan ka naman ang aswang, Gichi? Okay. Okay. So anyway, guys, I really appreciate that your time. So because it's time for me also to, okay. You know what? It's the best partner with this Krispy Kreme coffee. So once again, guys, thank you so much and have a good day to everyone. Bye. Bye bye. Okay. Sometimes. All right. Bye bye, everyone.